reckon with. I know the Most High is right. And I know that if anyone says anything contrary to the Most High, time will prove them wrong. Because the Creator said the teachers that teach His word, that go to the right, that don't go to the left, that walk straight and teach His word, the Creator said He will confirm the words of His servants. And Brother Dan, the Creator confirmed your words. You're right. Let's give the brothers and sisters a round of applause that stayed with Yah, even though they couldn't understand. Stand up, give them a hand. The brothers and sisters that's willing just to trust in Yah. I know all y'all won't stand up. I know it. Y'all can stay down. I know it. You understand? I know that. But we gonna give Yah a hand. Now don't just break that. Just stand up. You stand up for them a little bit. You don't have to hit the chest. Stand up for Yah. All right. Isn't it great? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Look what he explained to us about, he said to us about the heart and blood. That's magnificent. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? Who would believe Yah when Yah said that Yah talked to Cain and said, "Where is our brother?" And Cain said, "Am I my brother's keeper?" And Yah said unto Satan, unto Cain, "The voice of thy brother crieth." The voice of thy what? No, your voice of your brother's blood crieth to me from the ground. Who could have thought Yah was right thousands of years ago when he said your brother's blood is crying to me? First, well, that don't really mean that, because we know that blood can't talk. Blood don't have no feelings. Blood don't have no life in it. And that's not the kind of life. It just might have a few molecules, but the blood is life. That's why the Almighty don't want you to eat no blood or nothing, because you're eating the essence of that creature. You can eat the flesh of a deer, but when you go to drinking the deer's blood, then the life of the deer is in you. So you're not to eat no manner of blood. Our Creator said, pour it out on the ground. It's living. So watch your heart. Watch what you eat. Watch how you take care of yourself. And diligently watch your heart. With all diligence. For out of your heart are the issues of life. That's y'all wrong? Now if he's wrong, I'm wrong. But I never found y'all wrong. But the people anybody want to go to the mic right now can comment on anything I said, whether you liked it or disliked it. And I know some of y'all disliked it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a long walk up there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, brother.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
We give thanks and praises to the Almighty for this day and for our mores. Elesha, the classes that you give are always up to par. But today is one of the best classes, and I think you teach great class, but today is one of the best classes that I can remember you teaching. I mean, you broke it down. You're accustomed to breaking things down. You broke this one down, and Brother Dan said, that's deep. That's deep. Thank you. Praise God. Praise God.
Praise Yah. I also studied that this week after the conversation we had on Sabbath, and I came to the same conclusion that you did, Moray and Brother Dan, and it was a very great blessing to hear the elder bring much greater light to the subject, so now that we can understand it even greater. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Praise Yah. Great class. But I still have questions, only because, you know, you alluded to one, which is, you know, if the heart is taken out, the man still has life, how then can those same emotions still come about? And the question you asked them more raised, was the mind and the heart independent thinkers of themselves? Is that the question?
Yes, sir.
And you're saying that the heart is an independent thinker?
Yes, the heart can make independent thoughts and feelings and emotions than what is entertained in your mind.
I'm saying thoughts. I didn't say feelings. I'm saying thoughts.
Well, yes, we're saying, well, it can't have a feeling if it don't have a thought. See,
oh, say that again?
We can't have a feeling if it's not generated from a thought.
So then it has to have, so then where does that thought come from?
Where did it come from? Came from the Most High.
So you're saying that if a man seen his woman or seen his girl with another man and he had some type of feeling where he passed out, that feeling itself came from the heart independently? It didn't come from him knowing that that was his woman?
Well, it can come from both of them. Some thoughts and some things can run concurrently, but I'm saying the heart has the ability to have an independent thought, and act independently of your mind, and give you an independent emotion, where one thing is telling you, your mind is saying one thing and your heart is saying another. And they can be totally the opposite of one another. It can be a conflict. Now, Christian people call it, oh, Satan. That was the devil. The devil told me this, and I told the devil no. And the devil said this, and I said, and that's really their body or their mind dealing with emotions that's in their heart. And it's a conflict.
Their mind dealing with emotions in their heart.
Yes.
So with that said, and it's funny because I did do a little studying on this, and the one thing I found out that popped out is that according to, I guess, well, my research, that there, you know, many times in the scriptures, first of all, the word heart in the scriptures is used for various, it means the physical heart, but one thing I also found out that it meant also was a consciousness, an awareness.
You said the heart means consciousness and awareness?
The heart, one of the, for instance, in Deuteronomy.
I looked up the definitions of heart and body, and I seen that they were different. I can read my definition, and somebody can have their concordance and look them up.
Right, and the point.
Well, we can look them up and see, because they're not the same.
Right, what I'm saying is that the word heart is used many different ways in the scriptures, and what I found that when the translation, and that's why I was asking about the translations, oftentimes we found where, you know, there's been a mistranslation and they interjected a word when they could not find the original word. And what I'm saying is that in many places they found where the word for consciousness should have been, where it may have been assumed the word for a conscious, or a word that means consciousness or awareness should have been interjected.
Where you find the word conscious at in the book?
Well, what I'm saying is in my studies.
No, but your studies, we're talking about, hold it now, son. We're talking about the scripture, and you keep talking about consciousness. Now, where did you read that at?
I'm saying that the word heart, and one scripture that I found in my studies was Deuteronomy 8:5, where they said this is the place where where it was speaking of a consciousness.
Well, where does it say conscious?
It did. That's the point.
Well, but you keep bringing up,
Hebrew word
now you're throwing up something else that's not in the book. We got heart and mind. Let's stay on that. Now, there's conscience you brought in. It's not even in the book.
What I'm saying
so
is that,
we're going to look up and deal with biblical definitions. Let's deal with biblical words.
Brother, what I'm trying to say is that where the interpretation of consciousness should have been, in other words, there's no Hebrew word for consciousness. And what I found was they put the word heart in certain places during the translations where there should have been a word to describe a consciousness.
Well, who are you to say what should have been? You don't even see the word conscious. Oh, you're saying that to yourself?
No, I said in my studies that I found.
Oh, well, and you thought that the word conscious should have been there instead of heart.
I didn't think that. I'm saying in my studies that's what they...
Well, that's what the people said in your studies.
Yeah, not in the
studies. Oh, that's what the people said.